Good morning and welcome to the Humans to Mars Summit for 2024. We are just about to get started here at George Washington University in this beautiful venue, and we have an amazing day lined up for you. I'm Matt Kaplan. I am the Senior Communications Advisor for the Planetary Society, formerly the host of Planetary Radio, our popular podcast and public radio series, which I have backed away from, but still very active in the society, and absolutely thrilled to be back here with you for H2M. I hope you have joined us before. If you have not, you are in for a very pleasant surprise if you are as much of a space enthusiast, a space geek, if you'll pardon the expression, as everybody who's going to be here over the next couple of days. We have a really terrific lineup for you. It's worth saying again. Beginning this morning with some terrific people from NASA, including NASA Associate Administrator Jim Free. That'll all be starting on the stage that you can probably see up there behind me. But our sponsor today, the people who make H2M happen, is Explore Mars, and we're going to be hearing from several people in the Explore Mars leadership team, beginning right now with Tiffany Vora, Dr. Tiffany Vora. Tiffany, welcome and congratulations on being the very first person we get to talk to over the next couple of days.
Good morning, Matt. I'm absolutely delighted to be here in DC with you and all these great friends for the 2024 Humans to Mars Summit.
Absolutely. You are a vice president in charge of, is it innovative partnerships?
Innovation partnerships, yeah. So it's so easy when we think about space to focus on the rockets, right? They're the giant things that blow up. Mm-hmm. But there's so much more that goes into building a sustainable and thriving human presence on Mars. So my job is to help us take a look at the various technology domains that are going to bring us there. But more than the technology, Matt, it's about the people and the organizations and the community that are going to be such a big part about getting us to Mars in the 2030s.
And you're a terrific choice for that because of your background, which maybe we can get into in a minute or two. I also want to say that you're going to be stepping in for somebody who has always been a perennial favorite here at H2M, the former president of Explore Mars, now the director of education. We found out that Janet Ivey of Janet's Planet can't be with us today, and Janet has always brought such energy and delight to H2M as she does to everything else. And I know that she was also looking forward to being here with some students. And you're going to spend some time, I guess, with those students who are participants in the H2M.
That's right. Janet is such a special light in this community. There's no way I can step into her shoes, but I'll bring my own shoes to the party. And yes, I'm absolutely delighted to be leaning in and getting to interact with the students, the author of A Case on Mars, and some other folks on Janet's behalf.
So it strikes me that focus on people, as I said, it's right up your alley because of your background and what you bring to this. Talk a little bit about your background and how that led you to becoming the VP in that area.
Sure. So I'm actually a molecular biologist by training. I grew up in Florida, standing outside in my backyard watching shuttle launches. That now you know exactly how old I am. And so I grew up in the space community. And then when I was in graduate school, I actually went and did 3 analog Mars missions with the Mars Society. So I had this great love of space, but I was really a biologist in my heart. I still am. Fast forward to the pandemic when I started getting some phone calls from some old friends saying, hey, are you still interested in that space thing? And I was like, yes, of course I'm still interested in that space thing. So from my home in Silicon Valley, I started reconnecting with the space community. Now, my background, the work that I do in Silicon Valley is I work with disruptive technologies. My particular focus is the biotechnologies and everything that biotech touches. That's why I'll be speaking later tomorrow about synthetic biology and how it could help us with a Mars mission. But really, any type of disruptive technology, exponential technologies, AI, computing, quantum, robotics, a whole bunch of these various things, new types of materials. That's something I'm really interested in. So I'm bringing that very broad view here to the Explore Mars community. And living in Silicon Valley, I'm very close to the investment ecosystem as well as the startup ecosystem. So the primes and governments and traditional space agencies are super important players in the space community. But I think thanks to new space, there's also roles for more investors and innovators and startups and students and folks looking to see what are the jobs of tomorrow going to be.
And in every field.
In every field, that's right, because life for space makes life on Earth better starting today. And I'm really excited to be leaning into that role for Explore Mars.
I want to go back to what you said right up front about so much of the focus is on rockets, how we're going to get there, just the mechanics, the hardware. But there's so much more to getting to Mars. In fact, we're going to hear today from Kelly Wienersmith. She and her husband, Zach, I had them on our book club at the Planetary Society not long ago, who've written A City on Mars, which is a book that has stirred up a lot of controversy because they said there are going to be a lot of challenges other than just building the rockets to get us there, which we've just about got now. And you mentioned synthetic biology. Why are areas like that going to be so useful, maybe even vital, if we're going to thrive on the red planet?
Because living on Mars is going to be hard. It's cold, it's dark, the environment is not one that we evolved for. I try not to make it too anthropomorphic and say space is trying to kill us, but that's a short way to sum it up. Yeah. And so there's so much more when we think about what is the future of humans going to be off Earth. We don't want it to be this sci-fi dystopian just surviving and grinding through for whatever reason. I envision a community of people that are really thriving off Earth. And in order to do that, you've got to have good food, you've got to have good water, you've got to be comfortable, your body has to be healthy. There's so many pieces to it. Eventually, there should be space families if we're really thinking about self-sustaining communities off Earth. And so I really appreciated A City on Mars for saying over and over, no, it's really not very romantic living on Mars. So let's all see what we can do to make that as good as it possibly can be for those humans of the future.
And I'm sure when we hear from Kelly Wienersmith, who's going to be delivering a presentation at lunch here at the summit this year, that she and Zach are still big fans of getting to Mars. They just want to make sure that we can at least survive, if not thrive. This is not your first H2M summit. Why is this gathering important to you?
I love getting in a room with people who share values and a vision about the future, and people who believe in making the changes themselves, not just waiting for somebody else to step in. Elon, Jeff, any of these people, NASA, ESA, any of our traditional partners, but really want to lean in and say, you know what, hey, I've got an idea, or I've got some funding, or I've got a problem that needs solving. I want to be part of the solution. And to me, that's really what the Explore Mars community is all about.
And I think we're going to see plenty of evidence of that over the next couple of days. Thank you so much, Tiffany, and we'll be talking with you again.
Thank you so much, Matt.
And Tiffany will also be leading at least one. How many of the panels on stage do you have? I know you got one at least.
Yeah, I'm moderating one that I know about, but we'll see what happens. That's another exciting thing about Humans to Mars. It's a really exciting gathering where people lean in and share their ideas.
It's dynamic. Okay, I am told that we are pretty much ready to get started up on stage. You are in for, I'll say it again, a terrific lineup across the entire day, and we will be live with you all across that day. So I am going to throw it over to, I think, Chris, who is ready to introduce the current president of Explore Mars. That's Chris Carberry, who's the CEO of the organization. Chris?